Everyone, I'm Mr. Raviraj Nagarkar, working as an assistant professor at Walchand Institute of Technology, Solapur in Electronics Engineering Department. Today, we are having the session on Shannon Fano coding technique, and this session is divided into the two parts. So, at the end of this session, definitely students will be able to understand the how to encode the transmitter using the Shannon Fano coding technique. So these are the contents of the presentation in which coding techniques, and in that various coding techniques, first we are going to discuss with the Shannon Fano coding technique. So think about what are the different coding techniques you have studied right now. So it may be various kind of coding techniques like decimal to binary coding, XS3 coding, BCD to 7 segment coding, 8 to 3 coding, Morse code, etc. Various types of coding you might studied in your previous work. So coding is nothing but it is the process of converting the given information of the set of messages into the new coded messages. So to provide the efficient and reliable transmission of data by removal of redundancy and providing error detection and correction of data. It is used for the data compression, cryptography, error detection and correction, data transmission and data storage. So there are basically four types of coding: source coding, channel coding, cryptographic coding and the line coding. What is source coding? Source coding is the technique which is used to encode the transmitting message into the binary code with one-to-one mapping. The average length of the code is to be minimum. It is used to increase the efficiency. For example, data compression technique. What are its application? Fax, JPEG, MPEG groups, etc. Channel coding. Channel coding technique is used to encode the source messages with additional information to provide error detection and correction in order to reduce the probability of error, in which redundancy of the data is mentioned, and it is with the help of this coding what we are going to get is the increase in the bandwidth related part. For example, linear coding technique. What are its applications? Applications such as the voice band modem, GSM mobile phones, satellite and military devices, etc. Cryptographic coding, in which this technique is used to encode the transmitting message to provide secured communication and privacy over an insecure channel. For example, encryption and decryption algorithm. What are its applications? ATM cards, e-commerce, computer passwords and various applications are there. The last one is the line coding. Line coding technique is used to represent the digital information source into the its equivalent voltage pattern. It is used for the baseband data transmission system. For example, unipolar coding, bipolar, Manchester encoding. What are its applications? It is used in the computer communication network over the short distances. Now, as per our today's discussion, Shannon Fano coding technique that we are going to discuss in detail. So this comes under the source coding method, which is constructionally reasonably efficient and separable binary code. What are the steps when we are going to follow the Shannon Fano coding method? These are the steps. One by one we will discuss. First, you need to arrange the given message into the decreasing order of probabilities. Then partition the messages into m equiprobable message subsets, where m is the number of symbols or letters used to code the messages. For example, if m is equal to 2, then symbols may be 0 and 1. If m is equal to 3, then symbols can be 0, 1 and 2. Like that, based on the value of m, we are going to increase the number of symbols. Then assign one symbol to each subset. For example, if m is equal to 2, assign 0 to all the messages of first subset and assign 1 to all the messages of second subset. Again, partition each subset into m equiprobable message subsets and then assign the symbols to them as indicated in the step number 3. So continue this process till the subset consists of only one message. So with one example, and lastly, code word of each symbol is assigned to the each of them from left to the right. So we will discuss this Shannon Fano coding method with one example. See the example. In one communication system, source transmit the 4 different messages that may be x1, x2, x3 and x4 with probabilities of 0.3, 0.1, 0.5 and 0.1 respectively. If the number of symbols used to code these messages is 2, then find the code word for each message and coding efficiency by applying the Shannon Fano coding method. So remember students, when we are going to deal with such kind of problems, our first method should be, you should write what is given. So with the help of which what is given, you will get the clear cut idea about what exactly and which kind of a method we have to apply. Here 4 messages are given, which is represented from x1 to x3 along with their probabilities are given. And as here we have written, the number of symbols used to code the messages is 2, that is nothing but m is equal to 2. Now see here, one by one we have to arrange these messages into the decreasing order of probabilities 0.3, 0.1, 0.5 and 0.1. So first we are going to arrange it according to the decreasing order. You can see here 0.5, 0.3, 0.1 and 0.1. Then next step, partition this one into equiprobable subset. Means here we have to divide it into the 2 parts. So it may be 0.5 is the first part and 0.3, as m is equal to 2, we are going to divide it into the 2 parts. Here you can clear cut see 0.5, and when I am going to consider x1, x2, x4, it will be 0.3 plus 1 plus 0.1 plus 0.1, the addition will be equal to 0.5. So equally we can divide the messages into the 2 parts. Then as per our second step, assign 0.5 and 0.5, means equally we have decided. Then next step, assign one symbol to each subset. So upper one, that I am going to assign 0 and the lower one I have to assign it as a 1, means our first step is over. So see, continuously we have to repeat the same process for the x1, x2 and x4. Now 0.3, 0.1 and 0.2. Here also we can divide it, means 0.3 and now it will be 0.2. So for 0.3 we are going to assign 0 and certainly for 0.1 and 0.1 we are going to assign the 1. Again 2 bits are remaining. Once again we have to repeat the process. See here. Now what is remaining? 0.1 and 0.1. So for that we have to assign 0 and 1. Now here we will come to know that each and every up to the last bit we have assigned the numbers in the 2 symbols, that is 0 and 1. Now read the messages from left to right. That is, code is nothing but for first to x3 0, then 1 0, then 1 1 0 and last one is 1 1 and 1. In that way we have designed the code length. So what is the length? For the 0 it is 1, for 1 0 certainly it is 2, for 1 1 0 and 1 1 1 it is 3. You can see here it's a code length also. Now we have a formula, and before directly dealing with the L and H value, you need to prepare one table, and in that table we have to assign this x1, x2, x3 in the tabular format. So see here, formula is given, and according to the formula when I am going to put the values, I will get the average length per code word is 1.7 letters per. Now same for the entropy. After doing this all the calculations, here I will get the entropy as a 1.685 bits per message. Okay, so now you can calculate the efficiency with the help of this available formula. By putting these all the values, see the efficiency is now 99%. Now we are going to see it's a second part, in which here you can consider the source coding with the techniques in which the problem with the ambiguity. Here you can see total 1 to 7 symbols are there, in which 3 symbols are common, 0.08, 0.08 and 0.0. In that scenario also we can follow these 2 possible ways. In the first approach, this one, and as we have already seen, whenever we are going to follow these methods, When if I am going to follow with the first approach, see here 0 0 and 1 1 1 means according to our scenario and according to the methods which we are using for the Shannon Fano, we are going to get this code word and this length. So here also the same formula, code word length is 2.48, and when I am going to consider the second approach, see here simultaneously you will get the code word length as a 2.5, means whenever we are approach is changing, you will get it is 2.48 and 2.5. See the entropy also, entropy and efficiency, in first case 2.42 and in efficiency is 97.6%. So these are the references which we are using for this Shannon Fano coding, and you can refer these references for the more details. Thank you all of you.